Travel is freedom. It's where adventure meets discovery, where new landscapes, cultures, and memories await us. But as our world changes, travel is changing too. Extreme weather, new health risks, unexpected disruptions. And for many travelers today, the question isn't where they are going, but whether they are prepared for whatever the journey brings. This is Space.com, and we are talking travel, health, and the environment. The story of why travel and health insurance matter now more than ever. Kimalo Angel Olowe signing on. Now the journey begins. Meet Adora. She saved for 2 years for her first international trip. But 3 days before her return, a sudden flood disrupted all flights for 48 hours. Hotels were full, roads were closed. She had no insurance and no support. Now then there's Ibrahim, a business traveler, caught in a heat wave emergency. He suffered dehydration and ended up in a foreign hospital with bills he never planned for. Now, these stories aren't rare. The environment is shifting and travel is becoming more unpredictable. Now, in this episode, we dive into what every traveler needs to know. Why the environment now plays a major role in travel safety. How extreme weather affects flights, accommodation, and health. Then, what travel and health insurance actually cover. When the environment strikes, and how to prepare yourself before you step out of the door. Today, I'm joined by experts who understand these realities better than anyone. Now, we live in a time when environmental changes, floods, wildfires, heat waves, and they disrupt travel more than ever. How is the environment shaping the risks travelers face today?
Well, the risk that the travelers are facing today because of climate change is massive. Well, let me just quickly tell you about the conference that took place in Brazil, which is, I think, was about climate. And most part of the world are very concerned about the effect of climate on everything. So when it comes to traveling, it's even more. When we travel to different parts of the world, there's mudslide, there is heat, there is a lot of things that are affecting travel. So when you plan your travel right now, you need to know the climate condition of where you're going, if there's going to be harsh weather, cold, or if it's going to be mudslide, or if it's going to be heavy rain, torrent, and all that. And that is even affecting people right now. When you travel, what kind of medication are you going to take with you? Because climate is now affecting health significantly. So when the effect of climate on travel is massive, it could make it more expensive, make it more difficult, especially in the part of the world we are in right now. Climate that is causing road erosion and other stuff. A 2-hour journey can become a 7 or 6 hour journey, and that is a toll on the body by itself. So climate condition they are very real.
Data shows more flights are being delayed or cancelled due to weather. What should travelers understand about weather-related disruptions and insurance coverage?
Oh, fantastic. So I just talked about it. Weather has become, so in medicine, there's what we call the vital signs. These are the signs that we look for in medicine to gauge somebody's health. Now, there is a proposal floating out there that climate should become the 6th vital sign, which means you need to actually know, like you check your blood pressure, your temperature, you need to actually follow what the climate is saying. So delays are normal when it comes when the weather when the sky is not very friendly, when the road is when it is raining heavily that the driver cannot see far beyond their dashboard. So traveler needs to think very, very much more about their destination to know what the weather is going to be from where you are to where you're going. Otherwise, if you don't take that into consideration and part of your travel plan, you might become disappointed. And then when it comes to insurance, it is very, very important to have adequate preparation, because insurance is a way of us mitigating our losses. So, for example, if you leave your home without it and you get there, you become sick, and over there you get charged with, well, if you travel to Europe or the US, you get charged in dollar or pounds or euro, and that becomes a massive. But when you plan with a company like ours and you're able to follow and get proper travel insurance, then you know that you're covered. Or when you're coming to Nigeria and you want to stay in Nigeria for 6 weeks, there are travel plans for travel insurance from companies like Kanpe. You can buy those. Or when you come to Nigeria, you want to stay for a while, there are insurance you can buy that can cover you, that will cover the effect of climate and other things that surrounds it.
Now, many travelers assume disasters only affect certain countries. Are these risks global now?
Disaster does not tell anybody when it wants to strike. And that is the most difficult thing about disaster, because it is sometimes predictable and it's sometimes not predictable. So we can only control what we can control. What falls outside our control, there's nothing we can do about it. Weather disaster affects practically every country in the world. We're seated in Lagos today. This morning alone is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's rained like 3 or 4 times in different places. So if I plan to go have a meeting somewhere and I don't have a car, I need to be able to plan for such an event. Go to South Africa, go to London. In the US right now, all the Midwest in the US are shut down because of massive downpour of snow. And if you're traveling from Nigeria to the US and you are visiting your family in St. Louis, Missouri, and you didn't plan for cold weather, all the money you take to US to buy things for your trip, you end up buying jackets and buying cold weather clothing for it. So it's very, very important to be globally aware of the effect of weather wherever you're going. Even if you are traveling from Ibadan to Elisha or from Elisha to Abuja, you need to be grounded locally. And fortunately enough, our TV channels in Nigeria are now giving us weather information all around on our TV.
So for someone planning a holiday today, what are the most common environmental challenges they should prepare for?
If you are planning an holiday today, whether it's just your annual vacation, whether it's for the festive period, Christmas, Eid al-Fitr, whatever this festival or the vacation that you are planning, or just to take the time off, the number one thing you should think about, instead of about it's not money, it's not what to do when you get there, is what does the condition of the weather is where I'm going. Because if you don't understand that particular weather, it can mess up every plan that you have. So you might plan to go dive, to swim, to go and do hiking, or to go and to visit different places, tourist sites. If weather does not cooperate with you, all of that is done. So number one thing when you travel is like in my house right now, I've designated my wife. Actually, she's the guru. When we want to travel to a place, she will tell me what the weather is for the 7 days. For the 8 days we're going to stay there, what is the weather on Monday, what is the weather on Tuesday, and that determines how we plan our activities. And it has really worked well with us to manage the effect of weather on our travel.
Environmental unpredictability is only half the story. The other half is health. Because when the environment shifts, so does disease, so does air quality, and so does body's response. More travelers are falling sick abroad, and many don't know what their insurance actually covers. When we come back, we will discuss health and travel. So let's talk about health. How do changing environmental conditions influence health risks for travelers?
All right, so it's important that when you're traveling, you know the weather condition where you're traveling to. It's very important because everything about Earth, and your Earth depends on, your Earth will be affected by the weather condition of where you're going to. You may fall sick unexpectedly due to weather change. And that's why it's important to know, okay, in the area that I'm traveling to, what is the weather condition? So that because of that, you can know your own personal health condition. I'm asthmatic, for instance, so if I'm traveling to a place now, I have to know, okay, what is the pollution level of the air? It's important that I know that, okay, I'm able to fall ill if I encounter cold weather. It's important for me to be able to plan and know that, okay, where I'm going to, what is the weather condition, what is the temperature, what type of weather condition are they facing, what is the climate change that's affecting them right there. Some countries in the world now, their pollution level is so high that if you are not ready, if you are not prepared for that, it may actually affect your health. And if it affects your health, it means that that's the end of the vacation you are going to. So you will not enjoy the vacation will be ruined, and one can even fall ill and have to come and deal with health issues, which will be a fallout of not preparing well for the travel.
Heat waves, air pollution, contaminated water. Which of these are the biggest threats to travelers today?
The three actually affect travelers today, depending on exactly where you are going to. If you are going to places like India, for example, you know that definitely pollution there is very, very high. It's very high, and you have to be extra prepared. So people that have underlying health condition have to look at issues like that. Heat wave now, in some places where they've been experiencing cold weather, things are just changed now. Heat waves are other risks that affect people, like what happened in Greece and I think part of Spain. Heat wave actually unexpected, unprecedented heat wave as what would they have encountered this year. And yes, the water level is rising, and that's actually also due to climatic change. So all the three actually affect traveling and the health of people. So all has to be taken into consideration depending on your destination of vacation where you're going to.
Medical bills abroad can be overwhelming. Can you explain how travel medical insurance protects travelers financially?
Insurance is a financial succor for people at a small price. Now, for instance, if you are traveling to Europe, they've made it compulsory that you come to Europe and you have a plan. The minimum medical limit for that plan is 30,000 euros. For some countries, it's 50,000 euros because they've emphasized the risk that you might encounter if there's a medical emergency. So if there's a medical emergency, they want to make sure that you are catered for, and that if you look at that annual limit, 50,000 euro or 30,000 euro minimum, that's a lot of money. If it's not for the sake of insurance, ordinarily an individual will find it very difficult to cover that kind of money to cater for their health wherever they are traveling to. So it's only insurance that have provided that leeway for people, say at a very minimum cost, which is the premium. You can have a cover that will cover up to 50,000 euro or minimum of 30,000 euro wherever you travel.
What conditions or emergency does travel health insurance usually cover, and what doesn't it cover?
So travel health insurance cover a wide range of coverage, but the most important thing is medical emergency, medical stabilization, medical care, the cost of medical care. And I've stated the limit earlier, up to that 50,000 euro. It must be an emergency. It must be an emergency situation. Somebody collapse. We have seen instances whereby people travel for conferences, for seminar, and then they have an emergency and they have to be rushed down to the emergency because of their insurance. Insurance will cover this. It will cover the cost of medication, the cost of procedure, the cost of stabilization. In fact, it even covered the cost of evacuation. It covered the cost of evacuation and repatriation for the person that travel after the incident. Also, if the person also unfortunately dies, it covered the cost of the repatriation of the body remain. So it covers emergency movement too, whether evacuation by road, air. So it's very important that you put this kind of cover in place. It can also cover legal costs, loss of passport, legal aid. If somebody is arrested, for instance, maybe not for criminal cases, maybe for third issues, it also covers cost of litigation up to a limit. Yes, some of these are, but it has a wide cover. It also covers your baggage to some extent. All these are actually be bundled into the travel health insurance. So it's give a very wide coverage.
The world is more than connected than ever before. Millions cross borders daily, but with movement comes vulnerability. A delayed flight can cost thousands. A sudden illness can derail an entire journey. An environmental event can leave a traveler stranded. Insurance is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. So let's look at insurance, preparation and protection. Now, for someone traveling for the first time, what kind of travel insurance should they buy?
For a person traveling for the first time, at least the person should buy the minimum, which is the 30,000 euro coverage. And the coverage is always for a year. So it's always for a year maximum, but you can actually buy travel plans according to the time, the period and length of time of your stay where you're traveling to. So it could be for as low as a week, 3 days, and it could be as high as for 1 year. So frequent traveler actually buys 1 year, which is much more economical and is better. People that travel frequently, it's better for them to buy 1 year. But I want to go on vacation, you can actually buy for the period of the vacation.
Extreme weather condition means we'll see more unpredictable events. Are insurance companies updating their policies for these realities?
Yes. Insurance is a dynamic profession, and we actually in tune with what is going on. For instance, I can give an instance. Before COVID, pandemic exclusions in insurance plan, especially travel plan. But because of the peculiarity of COVID, we have to actually embed it and endorse it. And there's coverage for COVID-19 is actually covered now. Whereas it's supposed to be an exclusion. It's supposed to be an exclusion, but it's not covered because we are working in tune with the reality of our time. So most of these natural disaster might be an exclusion, but because of variety of time, they are being now brought back into the policy so that we can cover them, especially those that relate to climatic changes.
Now, how can travelers check if their destination is prone to environmental or health risks?
How can you check? My goodness. We have never, at any time in history, have access to information like now. a basic internet search to say what is the weather like in Singapore will give you an ungodly amount of information. You can even narrow it down. What are the things that have happened in terms of environmental disaster in Singapore in the last 1 year? You'll be able to see. So we have a lot of data. And then CNN, if you watch CNN a lot, they run through a number of countries, at least capital of each country, that you can see the weather channel for that day or for the period of travel. And there are specific weather channels online that you can go into and just ask the weather people to find out what is going on, whether there will be a tsunami, an hurricane, a typhoon, whatever it is that you can find out. And we should be so educated now that we just don't pack our bag and say, I'm going to Singapore, I'm going to Malaysia, I'm going to Indonesia, without really finding out, because you might end up spending more than you bargained for if you don't take our environment and climate into consideration.
For Nigerians traveling abroad, what are the most important things to look out for in a travel insurance policy?
Well, like my colleague just mentioned earlier, what you should look for is as simple as what kind of medical condition does it cover. Usually most health insurance cover, when you travel, covers emergency alone. You cannot say you have high blood pressure and you develop high blood pressure on your trip, and unless the doctor can say you've never had high blood pressure before. But something like fever, something like you fall and broke your leg, something like stomach ache that just happened right there, emergency surgery like appendectomy or rupture, anything emergency is covered up to the tune of your limit of your coverage. And you can probably have extension. I want to encourage people that are even traveling with children. Children are very prone to these kind of things. So you should buy, not only daddy and mommy is the one that is covered, you should endeavor to buy for your children. Then you should look for, is my luggage, if it's late, is it covered? You should look for, if anything happened in case of a death, is there an evacuation? Can they send my body back to where I belong to? Now, we're talking about people that live in Nigeria. I want to address people that are coming, that have families in diaspora. There are insurance plans in Nigeria right now that you can buy that will cover you for example, camping health plans that will cover you for 6 weeks if you are here on emergency, and can even help you with checking your overall wellness when you come to Nigeria. It's already bundled in there. And if you are staying in Nigeria for more than 6 weeks, there are other plans that are available that covers disability, that covers in case of death, that covers if you are critically ill and you are hospitalized, and a lot of things like that. Nigeria are not the carry last. Nigeria is moving fast and moving ahead when it comes to catching up with what the technology and what the world is doing in terms of insurance.
So what final advice will you give to anyone planning a trip in today's unpredictable world?
Final advice: do not leave home without your travel insurance. And that brings me to our home front. You know, we are living from Enugu to Lagos. Do you have insurance that has a national coverage? That if you become sick in Lagos, now I'm talking about not travel insurance, because I mean it does not make any sense to buy travel insurance within Nigeria when you can buy an insurance for a whole year that will cover you. Most especially, with all due respect to all our state health insurance, which are great product, but does it cover you beyond your state? So look for insurance company that when you get sick in Ibadan and you live in Abakaliki, you can go to any hospital that is covered on that plan and you are able to get yourself care. Because if you're banking on your insurance from your home state and you get to another state and they don't take your insurance, guess what? You have to come out with out of pocket and pay. So it's very, very important when you shop for insurance, what is their wide of coverage? What is their scope? What benefit do they offer? And there are very, very good insurance like Kankpe Health Plans that is available. It's a mass market and you can get it and it gives you coverage nationwide. So that's my candid advice for you. Do not leave home without a health coverage, because it can be very, very expensive if you do.
Okay, my final advice is people should endeavor to take their health seriously, and that means get an health policy. Get an health policy, because not having an health plan in place can actually ruin you. Can ruin you financially. Is a thing of shame when they say, okay, our brother is involved in this and we need to contribute money. And this is where we see what we see all over the place, in the mosques, in the churches, everywhere you go. And these are things that it could be taken care of. Now, especially that federal government has made health insurance compulsory in Nigeria for all residents in Nigeria. Not only Nigerians, anybody that's living in Nigeria must have one form of health insurance or another. It could be Kankwi that my colleagues have been talking about. It could be much more wider than that. Kankwi is for mass market. We want everybody to be insured. We don't want anybody to be left behind. We don't want to say, okay, we need to contribute something for it. At least let there be dignity. Let there be dignity. And you can only get this if you have made provision for that. Health insurance is so cheap that you'll be amazed that why are people not buying this? Why are people not getting this? The amount to spend on health insurance is not up to what you spend to buy a child card in a month. You will be surprised. But because we are not preaching that enough, and we thank you for this opportunity to be able to talk to our people and let them know that having a health insurance is compulsory in Nigeria now. It's compulsory, and for your own best interest, it's good that you have for yourself and for your loved ones. Thank you very much.
Travel opens your eyes, but preparation ensures we return safely. From the environment we fly through, to the cities we explore, to the hospitals we pray we never visit, insurance is the shield that protects every journey. Expect the best, always. In a world where the environment is changing faster than ever before, where heat waves, storms, new diseases, and unpredictable events have become part of our everyday reality, one thing remains certain: every journey needs protection. Before you pick a destination, before you book a ticket, before you step out into a new climate, a new city, a new world, pause, prepare, protect yourself. Check the weather patterns of where you are going. Study the health risks. Understand the environmental conditions that may affect your trip, from air quality to water safety, from rising temperatures to shifting seasons. And most importantly, choose a travel and health insurance plan that covers your life, your well-being, and your peace of mind. Because emergencies don't send reminders, and the environment doesn't always play by the rules. Whether you're traveling for work, for family, or for adventure, your safety is not a luxury, it is a responsibility. So as you move, as you explore, as you discover new horizons, stay informed, stay prepared, stay insured. Your journey matters, your health matters. Protect both of them. This is your world. Travel wisely. Now that's our show for today. Thanks for watching Space.com. For environmental recommendations and concerns, follow us on Kingschat LN247 and Space.com LN247. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. You can also send a mail, picture, or video to info2@ln247.news. Always remember that cleanliness is next to godliness. Therefore, be clean in thoughts, in words, and in deeds. Kimalo Angel Ologoke signing out.